and it just does it randomly. Okay, good morning everybody. You should be able to hear me now. Sometimes I forget to double check that, and it doesn't happen that often, but what the heck? The setting gets reset. That's so annoying too when that happens. But once again, hello everyone. Let me adjust my Streamlabs again. I gotta adjust this whole thing. My light was having issues too. Like I was a little bit late to the stream because I was adjusting my light settings because one of them just randomly turns off. So I spent a few minutes trying to get that back on, and I did not realize the mic was off too. Like I have no idea why that happens. Just randomly turns off. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties for like the past couple minutes. Even before the stream started, I was already having technical difficulties. There we go. I was just saying good morning to all, reading some of the first comments, and talking a little bit about the production rate. I didn't make any changes, and it is doing about 160 candlestick per hour, which is the goal. Goal is to get top 10, and it looks like I will end top 10 if nobody else logs in the next 15 minutes. 8th place. I think that's great. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up through some of the comments again. There we go. Lazy DC says, good day, mates. Hello, Hollow. Hello, Juxies. Nomadic Sean. Hello. Coinman says, Dub looking for top 10. Yeah, exactly. Happy Town Star Friday. Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day once again. I read that earlier. Oaken Shield, good morning. Is it good as Verizon now? Alright. The only reason I was able to get top 10 was because I did buy the Epic Vanilla Bean stand. I would say that was the goal, so that's good. I mean, I basically spent the whole competition reward already. So there's that. Hopefully this continues to pay off in future competitions. This is so much passive vanilla that I would think I'm covered in terms of vanilla for a lot of upcoming competitions. I hope that's true. Rahul, hello. Aim next week is too early to tell, I think, unless you're asking for like a no NFT rate. But I will talk about the next competition meta. I'm gonna take another look at Discord for the official announcement, but it is Starlight Market Box once again, because we did one earlier. This time the craft requirements will be a Valentine's Day card and 3 chocolate covered strawberries. If I'm not mistaken, we haven't done chocolate covered strawberries in about 2.5 years or so, maybe 3 years. It might have been 3 years now. That's a long time. It should be, yeah, it should be on the Townstar playbook. You think all players log in already? I think so, yeah. Got chocolate ice cream, chocolate pie. No, I don't have chocolate covered strawberries on here. It was before I even started working on the Townstar playbook. So this goes back May Mayhem 2022. Huh. You guys remember when we had the chocolate covered strawberry meta? I do believe it was 2022. It may have been February of 2022, but that doesn't really make sense though, because I don't remember there being competitions. Or maybe it was during May Mayhem. Honestly, I do not remember. But at some point we did have a chocolate covered strawberry. I never did a no NFT design for that. That was before I really focused on videos, maybe even before I started working on the Townstar playbook. I don't remember. Or at least before I started recording the competition stuff. As for Valentine's Day card, I do have a no NFT build on that, and it did about 20 per hour. I have it pulled up as well, and I'll show it in a moment. So if the no NFT rate for Valentine's Day card is 20 per hour, I suspect that the Starlight Market Box rates for no NFT players will be lower than that, because half your build is going to be Valentine's Day card and the other half is going to be chocolate covered strawberries, basically. Coinman says, I think you're right. I had just started playing. Yeah, I remember talking about it. I don't know if I did that competition, but I do remember talking about it. Because I have a video that talks about that meta, and it was 2022, but I didn't like do a build showcase or any of that. That was like a long time ago. That was when I first started working on the Town Star playbook though. Dave, hello. Alina says, I think we had in the past year, but not so sure. And since you cannot find it, I might be wrong. I don't remember doing it anytime recently. Yeah. Oh. All over the place. March 2023? Was it really? Maybe. I want to go and check. Mega Yak, I think they had boosted it with Decoration Cake in the same cup and we picked one. Oh, okay. Maybe. Fancy cake meta? Maybe. Yeah, I apparently did fancy cakes on that one. Alright. I found a bot spam message in your disturb. Should be in Town Star playbook. That's what the bot says. Okay. Okay, yeah, I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, like I was saying, Starlight Market Box is next week. 3 chocolate covered strawberries, 1 Valentine's Day card. And no NFT rate for Valentine's Day card. I did 20 per hour, so probably if I had to guess, the Starlight Market Box rate would probably be like 10 per hour. It would be some low rate. How much stars is it gonna give? Starlight Market Box gives 97,000 stars. I saw one person mention if ice blocks would be competitive. Right now, no. I don't think so, because if you were to make 5 Starlight Market Box per hour, I guess it would be as competitive as ice blocks, but I'm pretty sure that even with no NFTs, you could probably make at least 10 Starlight Market Box per hour. That's what I'm thinking right now, so ice is not going to be as competitive. And this Starlight Market Box will probably incorporate a lot of different NFTs, because there's a good amount of items going into this. I'll mostly talk about the Valentine's Day card portion of this, because I can show you the no NFT design for that one, since I made one. This video's from a year ago, right? So this is the no NFT required Valentine's Day card design that I made, doing about 20 per hour. Biome is the same, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot to mention the biome, but the biome we're getting is a forest, river on the south, mountain on the west. So yeah, it is the same as this biome. You're gonna need to use the mountain for like 1 or 2 mines to make, no, maybe more. Yeah, it depends. So you need limestone and chromium for the molten glass, as well as mystic matter requires limestone. So maybe you need 2 or 3 mines, it depends on the rate, right? Alex, hello, welcome. And I heard you were doing good on your first competition. Congratulations, Alex. I hope you get a good ranking in the end, more than what you expected to get. It is another glue meta for this next one. You need glue for mystic matter as well as eco paper, so going into 2 things. Bamboo shoots are really annoying. Let me go back into the game. Because of their high water requirement and high craft times. It's on the Town Start playbook, but I believe the water requirement is 8. Looks like I'm in the top 400, says Alex. Awesome. Joan, hello. But as you can see, their craft times are high. 4 minutes on a green craft timer. And the water requirement is 9. Requires so much water, so you need so many ponds. So of course you would want to have them next to the river. And the rest of it was tree farms. So let's wait, there was one more thing, right? Cotton, yeah. You can't actually see it on here, but there is cotton fields. The cotton fields will be for the cotton yarn, which is required for mystic matter, which is required for the enchanted object, which is required for the Valentine's Day card. I'm not going to explain all of those. Like, if you don't know how to make all those, I'd suggest looking into the Town Start playbook because it's too much explanations to explain those 4 items. But this is the Valentine's Day portion of how to make stuff. You will probably want to build nuclear power once again for all the ceramic bowls that you'll need for the glue production. So yeah, you're gonna have to for an efficient rate. You probably don't need this many pottery shops like I had here, but probably half of that, 5 or 6. So like I said, the other half of your build, you're gonna want to incorporate everything you need for chocolate covered strawberries. It's gonna be sugarcane fields, windmills to make the sugar. I'm not sure if you'll have the space to have green timer windmills. I can't think of a good way to incorporate green timer windmills on this. Like, the only thing that doesn't cast shade would be the oil pumps, I think. Otherwise, you're gonna have shade basically everywhere. Well, I guess the clay lumps too, but like 1 or 2 water facilities. More than likely, if you have no NFTs or no light circus, you're probably gonna have a bunch of red timer windmills for sugar. So yeah, chocolate shops to make the chocolate. Cocoa trees is another crop you have to deal with. 5 water requirement. And then craft times are okay, I think. I honestly forget the craft times on some of those. 1 minute, okay. It's decent. Roronoa Zoro, hello. How much per hour you think would be enough for top 100? For the Starlight Market box? It's kind of hard to say, but let me try to think about it for like at least a couple seconds. So I'm also thinking about how much I think I can make, which I'm not sure yet. I planned something out on the visualizer, but I didn't start building. I want to wait until the new biome comes out. And like, I have so much NFTs, so I can passively do a lot of the stuff that requires crops. Top 100. Maybe like 30 per hour. If I had to guess right now, like 30 per hour. I've not practiced this at all, though. Just keep that in mind. My name is Jeff. Hello. There are strawberries and peppermint too for shade. That is a good point. Yeah. I stand corrected. You might be able to have some green timer windmills. Because you can set up strawberry fields and peppermint fields next to them since they don't care about shade. That's true. Good point. Something to think about when you're working on your design, or whenever I start working on the no NFT required design. What else? So when we had this one, you do need sand mines. You need to craft silica to make molten glass, which means you need a glass factory. You can see it on the north edge over here. Once again, we're not getting a desert biome. Like I said, biome's almost the same. So once again, your sand mines are going to be on a red craft timer, but it's okay. You don't need that many sand mines. you probably only need 2 if you don't have that many NFTs. Of course, if you're going for a high rate, then yeah, you'll need a couple more. But the red timer on the sand mines here is okay. It's fine. Thankfully, you don't need salty here for salt fields or anything, so that's good. Don't have to worry about that. Girl Gamer, Eddie, hello, welcome. Roro Noah, I was also targeting 30. That already sounds hard to balance with honey and honeycomb. For sure, yeah. Lumber mills for the lumber that you'll need for honey, honeycomb, as well as the cotton yarn. I believe that no, as well as the limestone and chromium. So you need lumber for 5 things: honey, honeycomb, cotton yarn, limestone, chromium. That's pretty difficult to balance, because I don't think chocolate covered strawberries needs any lumber. But there we go. Competition has ended. I believe I ended 8th, assuming the leaderboard is correct, which is not always. I see O-Town passed up XG. They were kind of like tied for the same score. So close. I think they sold the same amount of candlesticks. It's just that O-Town probably sold a little bit more excess items, so that's cool. I had a pretty big lead compared to 10th place. So Raw was probably making 140 something per hour. So I have over a 10% lead. But that's to be expected. I mentioned earlier that the gaps on this competition are huge depending on if you have passive vanilla and how much passive vanilla that you have. That would be the biggest factor. Because if I didn't pick up that epic vanilla sand, my rate would have been 100 candlesticks per hour, which is still very good, right? But that probably would have left me at 17th place, just around here. Yeah, about 17th place with that rate. I knew for sure I'd be top 25, like I already knew that. But I wanted to just... the way I planned out my build, I didn't want to have any vanilla. And I was already making more ceramic bowls and wool. Like I had the NFTs for the wool rate and the ceramic bowl rate. So I figured just pick up the epic vanilla stand and get an even higher rate. And it worked out for this competition, but in order for it to truly pay off, I need more vanilla required metas so I can keep using that stand. Lazy DC, congrats on top 10. Thank you. Grandma, hi dub, 89. Congrats on top 100. Thank you, Homeboy Gaming. I already did the daily challenge. You know, I think I forgot to do the daily challenge from 2 days ago, and that's my fault. Practice server was my same build, but I think I was messing around with some other stuff. I was checking the craft times of some things, right? Yeah, I was. Well, I only had left this. We needed craft chocolate. I was trying to see what the craft times of my chocolate shops were with the 3 chocolate fountains and 13 seconds. Because I think I'm only going to use the 6 chocolate shops that have full passive cocoa. And I was also checking the craft times on my candy shop NFTs. Which, let me check that again. I want to check one thing. This isn't gonna help many people, but I'm gonna tell you one thing I'm thinking for my personal design. See, Girl Gamer and Spartans got top 50, very nice. Joan top 500, well played, still nice. We're all on a different level. Yeah, with the rare lolly and pop shops, my chocolate covered strawberries are 5 seconds. And the other NFTs, but I think it's like a minute or 2 minutes regularly, right? Candy shop, Oh, it's 45 seconds. Okay. It's not that bad. No wonder. With one gingerbread house, it goes down to 4 seconds. With 2, it goes down to 3 seconds. So if I have both of the gingerbread houses next to them, craft time is 3 seconds. So all they had to do is pick up 8 things. And yeah, yep, it's right there to tweets. Not bad for no practice? There's no way. You had to have... Well, maybe you made your visualizer, right? You got top 50 without practicing? Wow. I could do that too, obviously. Like, maybe I could even get top 25 still without practicing. It would just take longer. It would basically take all of Tuesday, and sometimes I don't have the... I got stuff to do on Tuesday sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. So I can't spend all of Tuesday. I would rather spend all of like Saturday working on my personal build or something. Gingerbread houses also give 2 passive peppermint. That's like their main selling point. So with 2 gingerbread houses like that, I have 2 master wizards that have the 3 passive peppermint for the enchanted objects. There we go. That's basically all. This is all you're getting from my thoughts on my personal build, which I usually don't share, but this is just what I was testing here. Molten glass is very easy for me to craft. Mystic matter, not so much. Well, it's always kind of annoying, but eh. Eddie 77 was good for top 40. In terms of production rate, that's what you mean? Okay. Watch out, I have a free weekend. That's great. You're gonna have a really good build then. I'm gonna talk about... No, I already talked about the new NFT on Tuesday because it was leaked already. But it sucks. I mean, I'll just say that it sucks again, I guess. Well, now that it's confirmed, right? Flourish Heart NFT comes out in like 2 hours. Artwork looks great, I admit. The utility is that it reduces the wages by 25%. This does not stack. There's no reason to own more than one. Also gives 20 town points. First of all, the utility sucks compared to the utility of like the Stars and Stripes Monument, which I believe is the same price. Let me confirm that again. Stars and Stripes Monument is $400, 30% reduced wages, 30% reduced build costs, and the shade removal of 1 shade removal for tiles next to it. The shade removal kind of sucks on that, but Stars and Stripes is way better than this new NFT. Same price. Not that much of a supply though, but I wouldn't expect this to sell out anytime soon. 2x2 size, so it's easy to place. Yeah. That kind of sucks, utility-wise. It does. They could have done better with that, but oh well. Valentine's Stands 2. Oh, yeah. I have an idea for that. I'm not going to showcase it here, but yeah, for sure. I need the Valentine's Stands for the passive strawberries. Yeah, and then have passive energy for it as well, for sure. Unfortunately, the Valentine's Stand still requires a road, which is kind of annoying. Like, I had to work around that. But I have a rough idea of what I want to do, which I'm not going to show you guys, but I have a rough idea. I'll practice that either late tonight or tomorrow. And like I said, I already did my daily challenge. Really, I don't really have anything else to talk about. I just wanted to stream that last end of the That's the end of the competition. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. I did see somebody talking about NFTs for a cash rush, or what's the best NFT cash rush. I saw Tatui's trying to help him out too. There are a lot of cash rushes, but if somebody asked me that, I would probably just say the Gold Rush NFTs, which would be the Pot of Gold and Green Forge. Goldie would also work. Even if you have Pot of Gold, Goldie will still work. It'll basically extend it because it does reduce the gold ore requirement by 1. And it does act as a panner, so you could upgrade the Gold Rush even more. I do think Pot of Gold is better. Goldie is just cheaper. But price-wise, I honestly don't remember the price of all those NFTs. I would have to just go back and look at it. How much is a Pot of Gold going for? I do remember when Pot of Gold first came out, they sold out almost right away. I had bought a couple, honestly, and I even resold some. A few I resold for a profit, I admit, but like I think most of them I resold to Super Dub Club supporters for almost or basically the same price I paid for them, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, hopefully the update comes soon, but also I probably won't have time to practice until way later tonight. I mean, it's Valentine's Day, right? Okay, Leprechaun Pot of Gold. Everybody just calls it Pot of Gold or Pog. Anulis, hello. Hi Dub, is there any possibility to make a video or show us how you use a planner? I mean, from zero, how you calculate how many loggers, farmers, and others you're gonna need. I've thought about how to do that before, and I think I've done that once, and I think the question has been asked before. It would probably be a long video or just take a long time to edit. I will continue to consider it. I can maybe even stream one time and show you guys how I do it, but it would probably be a long stream. Me trying to plan out on the visualizer, even if I don't actually build it, as long as I plan out on the visualizer. But the thing is, for my Dub fam supporters and above, I share ideas on what I do for the no NFT build, like how I plan it on the visualizer, things I notice. And let me see if I can kind of show you guys what I mean. This is a supporter perk, right? It is like a thank you, an extra thank you to the people who are supporting me. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, let's talk about my thought process for Candlesticks, right? This is the meta that just ended, so you're probably not going to find it helpful, but here we go. So I'm going to show you my Discord. This is the exclusive Dub Fam chat for Dub Fam supporters and Super Dub Club supporters. As a perk, I share my pictures or ideas of the no NFT build that I'm working on and changes that I make. And I'm not sure if I can zoom in any more than this, to be honest. So I'm gonna read out my thoughts right here real quick. So when I said, I think this was on Sunday, be working on a no NFT required design for Candlesticks. Here's my thoughts starting out. Since an oil seep is included, I will first focus on the gasoline setup close to the mountain. That way I can have passive energy for temporary mines for the iron to build nuclear power. Whenever you have an oil seep, you should probably always focus on the gasoline setup first. On the west side, it will have nuclear power with pottery shops to craft ceramic bowls and 2 clay fields very close by. No forklift will be required, so the pottery shop workers can pick up the clay themselves. So that was my thought process starting out. You don't need a forklift. That is true. Now, if you saw my no NFT build, it does include a forklift, right? Because it ended up being a better idea. But my initial thoughts were you don't need a forklift. That was going to be the original idea for the pottery shop setup. Just 6 pottery shops, 2 clay lumps. But none of this is tested. Many different ways I can go about the beehive setup for wax, but this time I want to try and do it in the middle of the town. I'm not exactly sure how many beehives I would need right now. If I aim between 15 to 20 per hour, then that would be 135 to 180 wax per hour. If you don't know how to calculate the exact amount of items that you need, I suggest you check the Town Star Planner or any visualizer tool, your favorite visualizer tool. Should have a calculator, and it should show you how many items that you will need for the desired production rate. Honestly, I can kind of figure that out at the top of my head most of the time, but for items that require a bunch of materials, it is harder to figure it out, so I'll refer to the visualizer. Old Town says, hey Dub, just joining. Was in the work meeting at the end. That was a close one with XG sold using gas at the end. Congrats on Nate. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was mentioning that you're basically tied with XG. You sold using gas at the end. Okay, no wonder. The rates were very similar. I thought you guys sold the same amount of candlesticks. I'm talking about my thought process on the candlesticks meta, at least what I shared with DubFam supporters starting out. So I also said sheep pens can be closer to the mountainside. I could have also done this with the vanilla bean fields since they don't care about shade, but it makes more sense to have wool production closer to the power plants where the fabric plants will be at. So yeah, that was my idea. Notice one mistake I made on the initial concept of the idea. I put the sheep pens here. That wouldn't work because they require 5 water, but I corrected that on the first tested idea. But yeah, the whole concept was just have sheep pens on the right side because my fabric plants would be close to where the gasoline setup is, you know, because I had 2 power plants there. That was the idea. I'm sure I would need tons of vanilla fields, probably more than I am allowing with this initial idea, but I will start this with this and do some testing to figure out how much I can make. Whenever I first come out with an idea, it doesn't have to be exact. It just kind of has to be roughly where I want stuff at. Crops will be at the bottom left, wool at the bottom right, nuclear power setup, middle left, gasoline setup, right side, in this case, wax setup in the middle. I would imagine some people probably had their wax setup in the corner. That could work. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to go about this, but that was my initial thoughts. So kind of explaining my thought process. After I tested it, I provided the first update on the no NFT candlesticks idea. 6 pottery shops make about 140 ceramic bowls per hour. So I think 8 to get more bowls would be a better idea, which could also use a 3rd clay field. So there you go. I realized that I needed more ceramic bowls after doing some testing, so I increased the amount of pottery shops and clay lumps. Bea says none of the visualizer pages can be open. Is it something wrong with me? Either it might be temporarily out, or it might be on your side. I'll refresh mine and see if that works. What is it loading? Yeah, it's working for me, Bayes, so might be on your side. On this update, I also said I can make about 265 vanilla beans per hour, which is fine, but I think it could be a little higher. It's true. I think 265 vanilla beans per hour would have been enough for like 17 per hour or 18 per hour. Is this page is suspended? That's strange. It's never said that on mine. I don't know. Wood rate of 1,180 per hour. It was too low, so I realized that I needed to have more tree farms. Sheep pen setup here makes about 200 wool per hour. It's enough for 40 fabric plant per hour. Fabric yarn. It wouldn't have been enough, so I needed to increase the wool production rate. I tested this at first. It was not enough wool. I realized I needed at least 4 more sheep pens. With those tests in mind, I needed to make space for another row of crops, which means I need to move a lot of things, including the position and nuclear power. So yes, when I tested this, I realized I needed more space for crops. I had to move nuclear power. I moved it one spot up. Shortly after, I put that I needed to move the nuclear power again. I literally built the nuclear power. Oh, keep in mind, for me, it's easier. I use my Silent Right NFTs to craft steel. Okay, so it's not as bad as other people testing. I can test things quicker. I moved nuclear power up one spot. Then I realized it still wouldn't have been enough. Before I did any real testing, I'm like, yeah, this is not going to be enough space. I destroyed it and I built another one. I collected another 5 steel and I built another nuclear power up. So I had to build the nuclear power 3 times for this no NFT build. Second update on the Candlesticks idea, tested it for about 30 minutes, but that wasn't giving me an accurate rate. It was showing 14 per hour, but in reality, it should have been 17 per hour. But I don't usually test unfinished ideas for hours. Not usually. Ceramic bowl rate was 160 per hour at this point, which was pretty good. That would have been enough for 17 candlesticks per hour, right? Like I just mentioned. But I realized I could bring it higher. I still had spots that I wasn't using, and the production rate for other stuff was close enough to get me to 20 candlesticks per hour. That was already above the original goal. I think originally I wanted to make at least 15 per hour for the no NFT build. I thought that would have been pretty good. And here's where I mentioned, I think this is about the limit for 8 pottery shops that are walking to a clay field to collect clay lumps. Alternatives to raising this rate could be either a forklift to take the clay lumps to a warehouse or a 9th pottery shop. If you saw my no NFT build, I did both of those things. Both of those things did improve the ceramic bowl rate. With this expanded sheep setup, I can get close to 300 wool per hour, and 2 fabric plants can make 60 fabric wool yarn per hour. I did a typo there, I didn't realize that. But yeah, this was almost the same sheep pen as the no NFT build showcased. Or maybe it was the same. We'll see. I don't remember if I made a change there. I did move the gasoline setup. So my original idea had it lower, but now it's like in between the oil seep. That is how I had it on the build showcase. Waxes is at 160 per hour, and this was due to the ceramic bowl rate. And I did believe that 6 beehives was already enough to hit 180 wax per hour, but I can't tell for sure without raising ceramic bowl rate higher, which it ended up working. 6 beehives was enough for the no NFT rate. There is enough vanilla bean fields here to make a little over 300 vanilla beans per hour, which would be enough for 20 candlesticks per hour rate. Yeah, so I already figured out the vanilla bean setup. This should be the same as the no NFT build, with the exception of maybe 1 vanilla field that I did add after that. Gold is very simple. So I did not even think about why I thought about gold, but I did not spend time on the gold because I knew it was going to be very simple. I already knew 1 forge was going to be enough. So like I say here, 1 gold panning site, 1 panner house, 1 ore storage, and 1 forge making gold. I just needed to make sure that the forge was not close enough to the pottery shops to cast dirty on them, something I did mention on the video. Because originally I built the forge here, and then I realized, damn, it's casting dirty on these, so I moved it up after that. See, sometimes I overlook things too, like that, and it's okay as long as we figure out how to fix that. The visualizer showed 4 arts and decor shops making scented candles. I only had 3 of them for this specific test, but once we got to 20 per hour, I did turn that 4th one on. And this is the finished design. Like I said, my Dub Fam supporters get it first. Well, they see all these ideas that are not done, but they also get the finished idea first before I even start working on the video. After I tested for 4 hours, it did 20.5 per hour. I did add the forklift and the 9th pottery shop to raise the ceramic bowl rate. This is the finished design. I did add one more vanilla field to allow the rate to go slightly above 20 per hour right here. I believe the sheep setup was the same, but yeah, I just explained how much wool was making. Lumber slightly overproducing, but only by like an extra 6 per hour. So near perfect balance on wood, like I mentioned. I do not see an easy way to improve this design further without implementing NFTs. I was just being honest here. I do try to make designs where I leave room for improvement. In this case, honestly, I did not see any easy way to improve it without NFTs. If somebody did this no NFT build and managed to improve it and still didn't use NFTs, I'd be impressed. I don't know, nobody said that. Most of the people, or basically everybody that said they improved it, they had NFTs, obviously, but that's fine. That's how the game works. But yeah, that's my thought process for Candlesticks. So I don't know if that helped anybody out. If you want to consider supporting me on Patreon, YouTube, and joining the supporter program, I appreciate that a lot. It does help me continue to create content with the funding. But I will consider trying to make some kind of a guide like that and showcase it before the competition starts, but more than likely it takes more time and it wouldn't be out until during or after the competition has ended. So I probably wouldn't get as many views, because let's be honest, like if I make a video talking about a competition that just ended, it's not going to get as much views as if I put the video out before the competition started, because people want the information in time for the competition so they can get more help right at the time. Can't talk. So this weekend, I'll do the same thing. After I do my personal design, I'll start thinking about the no NFT design, see what I can do there. Think of an initial idea. When I think about the initial idea, I try to look back to similar competitions. Valentine's Day card is required. I look at the no NFT required Valentine's Day card build that I just showed you a little while ago, which is this one. I take some inspiration from this. If I had a build for chocolate covered strawberries, I would look at that too, but unfortunately I don't. I think what I did, there was a couple weeks ago, we had a competition where we required sugar and chocolate. Which one was that? Which one was that? I can't remember. Let me check. I literally just checked it last night because I was working on planning out my personal build. Peppermint hot cocoa. That's what it was. Yeah. Let me actually search that up. Peppermint hot cocoa showcase. Hot cocoa. Yeah, there you go. You're right. I forgot what it was called. Peppermint hot cocoa build showcase. That's fine. Yeah. So this is similar because you're gonna need windmills making sugar. You're gonna need chocolate shops making chocolate. You're gonna need milk barns to get the milk for the chocolate. Yeah, even this includes a nuclear power setup because you needed to make ceramic mugs. So this one, I will take inspiration from this for the next meta because there's some similarities. You kind of want to merge this one and the Valentine's Day card setup. If you've done both of these competitions in the past, you should have an easier time working out on a design for the next competition. If you've not done them, of course, you're probably going to struggle, but that's how it goes. The more competitions you do, the more experience you'll gain. But I will probably link both of these videos on my Discord for people to check out, get some ideas from those, because that's honestly what I do. I get ideas from my previous build showcases. That helps me figure out the design for the next one. I don't really have to do that, but it does save time, and honestly, I do think the rate comes out more efficient. The rate comes out higher or better because I do that. Because it gives me some good ideas on what worked or what didn't work. So that's what I'm doing for my personal build, by the way. I looked at my personal designs for the Peppermint Hot Cocoa meta and the Valentine's Day card meta. Or, well, not necessarily the Valentine's Day card meta, but the one we just did that required a bunch of glue, which was the one with the paint, the Starlight Market box, the one that required the paint. I looked at both of those and I'm getting ideas from both of those to work on my personal build. That's what I'm doing. So hopefully somebody found all that helpful. Any other questions, feel free to ask, but I think that's probably going to be it. More, oh yeah. A video on all the different cash rushes would be pretty cool. I don't know if I would talk about the price of all the NFTs. I was actually gonna look at this. I opened up the tab, but the pot of gold is about 300, maybe even cheaper. With average 256. Wow. 300 or less for the pot of gold. Like the best NFT for Gold Rush. And if you can't afford that, right? I mean, I'm not like implying that you should spend money on the game. That's totally your choice. But the alternative, the cheaper alternative is Goldie, which is 150 average. I think I've said this before to somebody, but if you're considering Gold Rush NFTs, you are better off getting Pot of Gold. But eventually, if you do want to get Goldie and then eventually get Pot of Gold, that works too. Like, they work with each other. But I think Pot of Gold is way more effective than Goldie. And then the Gold Rush can be scaled up way higher with Epic Arcane Earrings, Green Forges. There's a few other things, but yeah. Do you have Steel Rush? Well, I can craft steel passively. I guess you would consider it a rush. I have enough styling rights to craft steel passively. I have an idea in mind. I'm not going to show you guys because I don't want it to be out there until I do a competition with it. But I had a really good idea for the Candlesticks meta that required steel. You know, when they gave us the incorrect information, I already had a build plan for that. And it had a couple steel mills with full passive iron for steel. I guess you would say, yeah, I do have a steel rush. I don't think steel is a good thing to rush for cash, even if you have a lot of styling rides. The only way a steel rush would truly work, in my opinion, is if you had steel mill NFTs. Now, they did come out with the electric arc furnace, but that's not exactly the same thing. You can't craft steel with that, which is why it's not so overpowered. I do believe that at one point they will come out with like a legendary version that will let you craft steel, and then it'll be powerful. Probably not the best cash rush, but... And also it's going to be very expensive to set up, like way too expensive. But it'll be an option. The Fornish NFT. What do you mean by that? But yeah, I can set that up. I guess I could showcase that too. That sounds like an interesting idea, a video with all the cash rushes. Would that really set a good example? That list with the top 30 NFTs in that video is still in the back burner as well. I'm kind of hoping to see the update with soil at some point. We've not heard anything on it for a while, but I would hope that comes out and then starts attracting more people. What do they craft? Blue and red steel. Wow, okay. Let's do that. I'll delete this whole thing later. Once the new biome comes out. Blue steel, red steel requires one less steel. I'm wondering if they'll ever change the craft requirements on these to include paint instead. Although that would kind of kill the blue steel dynamic of requiring uniforms. But you could just add, well, adding paint to it would make it way more annoying. More glue metas, right? But maybe not. But yeah, that's how they craft. Honestly, I think it's a pretty bad NFT. You're probably wondering why I have it. I bought them really cheap off somebody that was quitting the game. So I bought it as a bulk deal. So it'd be really cheap. They honestly are even... They are cheap now, huh? Aren't they? Let me check. Electric arc furnace. Wow. Somebody sold them for 80 bucks. That's even cheaper. Yeah, I bought it cheaper than this, but not 80 bucks. That's super freaking cheap. Somebody just dumped those. Probably one of the worst NFTs, in my opinion. Electric arc furnace. Probably one that nobody knows about. Unless we ever do like blue steel and red steel, and even then they're not that great, but helps a little. Well, yeah, now we wait for the next update to come out. I'm not in a hurry for today. I mean, as long as they release it by tonight, I'll be fine. But like for all of you waiting to practice, I hope that they release it soon, of course. But that's gonna be it. I hope everybody has a great Valentine's Day and a great weekend. And as always, I'll be on Discord if you have any other questions. I appreciate all the people that are here watching the stream and also on my Discord helping other people out. We do get some new people that come in and ask questions. And I mean, I'm not always on Discord. I try to be, but I'm not always there. So I appreciate it when anybody like ever comes and asks questions and you guys are there helping them out. I think that's what makes our community great at the Dub community. Thanks for hanging out. You too, Rachel. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.